Hello, are you or a loved one suffering terribly with fibromyalgia? If you are, take a moment, let's hear what Carole 𝐇𝐎𝐿 has to share with you about her incredible recovery. You're going to hear some highlights that'll just take a couple of moments of your time. Hear these highlights of her incredible recovery after suffering for years with pain, years with fatigue, anxiety, depression, insomnia, thinking she's dying. You're going to hear her, and then after we share the highlights of her incredible testimonial of her rapid recovery from this work that I offered her, I'm going to come back on. I'm going to share with you some unique exam findings that I discovered with her that evade common doctors, labs, and exams, and even functional medicine. And then I'm going to share with you a free offer and how you can also become a patient here. So let's take a break for just a moment. Let's hear what she has to share with you, and I'll be right back. Your body pain that they call fibromyalgia, on a 0 to 10 scale, 10 is the worst pain.
Probably like a 7 or an 8 constantly. But sometimes it was so bad that it would wake me up at night just from dead sleep because I was in so much pain. I thought I was gonna die sometimes. Like, I really was preparing my family and just talking about it, and everybody would get all sad, but I really thought there's no way my body can hold up under so much pain.
And that pain now?
Oh, it's like maybe a 1 or 2.
Maybe.
So, yeah.
How many weeks has it been that all this pain in the back and the whole body is gone?
Wow, just a long time. It's been probably 2 months, maybe 2.5.
0 pain. Oh, just about.
Pretty much.
Massive improvement.
Yes.
You had brain fog. How bad was that? 0 to 10? 10 is the worst. Can't think, can't remember, hard to process information.
I would usually have a 10. Sometimes I'd have relief, maybe a 9 or 8. But yeah, now it's non-existent. I don't have brain fog.
Do you feel like you're rested?
Oh yes. Yeah. I'm able to do things. I'm able to function.
This smile, this laugh, this giggle is of a woman who is no longer in pain.
Yeah.
Whose family is no longer in pain.
I just was doing my dishes, taking the dishes out of the dishwasher, and it just dawned on me that I was not in excruciating pain like I normally was. And I was like, what happened? And I went and I looked at the paperwork and I realized, wow, that's why I had all that back pain. Like, I couldn't believe it, and it was just gone.
The kidneys were loaded with the chemicals from 2 epidurals that you had. Dry feet.
Oh, yeah.
How much better?
90, maybe 95% better.
And we have done nothing to your feet.
Right,
Directly.
yeah.
It's not like there's a new cream or lotion.
No.
And it's not that you're getting pedicures and scraping the feet. You're not soaking your feet. There's none of that. The dryness just started to disappear by removing the hidden infections and chemicals from her body. And all of a sudden, the body can just regenerate itself, revitalize itself, like for her.
I think I lost count of all the doctors. I just was so exhausted just trying to find out what was going on with me. I would have not believed it had I found you years ago.
And now you're pretty
and
happy.
Now I'm it's a huge blessing. Yes, I'm super happy.
Isn't that just incredible? I mean, the back pain she had for years of her life, gone so quickly. The fibro pain, gone. The dry skin, the dry feet, gone. The fatigue, she has energy, she has hope, she's smiling. And she thought that this was too good to be true. She shared if she found this before, she never would have even given it a second thought. And she's so happy that she became a patient here. And the whole family has referred so many people here because of their excitement about what we've been able to provide them. I found with her in her first exam was September of 21, second exam was in March of 22, and third exam was June of 22. Already before the June visit, she was already near 100% better. 2 visits, 2 treatments. Incredibly rapid recovery, rapid restoration of her health. All right, so I'm going to share with you right now the exam findings. You'll also be able to go to my website and learn more about my work. I've got some videos on there of me describing what's different about my work, as well as I show you the science behind this work. Get ready to learn, but it'll be easy for you to absorb. I found with her in her first exam that her liver was loaded with multiple residues of multiple antibiotics. When you swallow an antibiotic pill, the body processes that antibiotic, and the antibiotic is then absorbed into tissues, and it doesn't just leave the body. There's research, it's known and proven, that the residues remain in certain tissues, brain, liver, stomach, intestines, bone marrow, causing candida to grow, causing other types of symptoms to develop. So I found residues of antibiotics affecting her liver. I found the xylocaine epidural that she had many years prior. It was causing her pain now, and for many years causing the pain. I found a large amount of the epidural chemical stressing her liver. I found a high amount of oxalates found in certain foods, like tomatoes, for example, stressing her liver. I found MRSA bacteria, which is an antibiotic-resistant staph bacteria, stressing her liver. I found another antibiotic-resistant bacteria called vancomycin-resistant Enterococcus bacteria, stressing her liver. I found a very high level of the epidural chemical in her kidneys. The kidneys were not strong enough to flush out the epidural. She had years of terrible back pain, and she was amazed within a few days of taking that first quantum energized formula that we designed for her from the exam findings here. When she took that first one, it was within 2 or 3 days after taking it, she just realized there was no more back pain that she suffered for like 15 years. Incredible. Get rid of the chemical in the organ. The stress of the organ disappeared, the epidural in the kidney, and the back pain disappeared. She had a high amount of activated mast cells in her small intestine. You can watch a video about mast cell activation syndrome. That's on my YouTube channel. She had those that we neutralized with these quantum energized formulas, stressing her small intestine. You think the gut and the brain, gut stress, gut inflammation, brain stress, body stress. Well, the activated mast cells were stressing her small intestine. She also had hookworm parasitic infection in the jejunum part of the intestine. And no, I didn't take a biopsy. How do I find it? Stay tuned and learn more through the free offer I'll make you at the end, and other parts of other videos that I've made. I'll share that with you. I found that her thyroid was stressed by lead, heavy metal that she absorbed, activated mast cells affecting her thyroid, mold and multiple mold toxins or mycotoxins stressing her thyroid, oxalates and MRSA, vancomycin-resistant Enterococcus bacteria, dengue fever, Clorox bleach stressing her thyroid. I found that her thyroid was infected with the scabies itch mite. I found part of her memory problem was caused by the epidural that they injected in her back to give birth to a child. It was up in her brain, in the memory part of the brain called the hippocampus. Her adrenals were stressed by, and her thyroid was stressed by the Clorox, and her thyroid was stressed by the epidural. Her lymph was stressed by the epidural. The pituitary gland stressed by the epidural. The whole brain was stressed by the epidural. She had activated mast cells in the lymph and in the stomach. She followed that customized protocol that we designed for her. That was from September. I saw her again 6.5 months later in March, already telling me of how happy she was because she had incredible relief from her symptoms. When she returned to my clinic in March, after we had a discussion, I found in the next exam the pituitary gland that helps to regulate hormones of the body. There was radon in there, toxic substance from the soil. The pituitary had the epidural chemical. The pituitary had MRSA bacteria affecting it. The pituitary had 2 toxins from a certain bacteria, C. diff, bacteria toxin A and B, the tetanus shot stressing her pituitary. Her pituitary had multiple mold and yeast infections. She had mold and yeast infections affecting her thyroid. She had a large amount of mold and mold toxins affecting her whole lymph system and her liver and her kidneys. And there's a few other findings. We don't have to go into the greatest detail from old vaccines, from the tetanus shot and the DPT shot stressing her kidneys. The ureter tubes that connect the kidney to the bladder, stressed by multiple mold and mold toxins. She followed that protocol. She came back to me in June. We filmed that video testimonial. She is so happy. I still found, when I tested her again, she had residues from the high fructose corn syrup affecting her brain. She had residues of high fructose corn syrup affecting the liver and the kidneys. She had multiple viruses affecting her meninges and her ovaries. And she followed that protocol, and she is so happy to share with you that she's so much better. So how do I do what I do? Well, let me make you this free offer. You can go to my website and download my free ebook. It's 40 pages. It's very easy for you to read and follow. There's lots of big font and big pictures. It might take you an hour. If you're suffering a concentration and brain fog problem, maybe a family member or friend can help read it with you and explain things to you. It's pretty simple to understand. Just sometimes people do have focused concentration problems with fibromyalgia and brain fog and fatigue. It might be difficult for some, yet you can have some assistance to read it. It's not too hard. And an educated patient becomes a healthy patient much faster. All right. And we do have to think different. We have to think outside the box. We have to use services and methods that are not in the conventional way of examining and treating a person. Because if we do stick with the conventional way, you stay in the same state that you're currently in, because the conventional doctors you've been to, even functional medicine and other types of therapies that have not helped you or did help you a little bit, and you've reached a plateau and you just can't get past there, those different methods of examining and treating, they weren't good enough. We've got to do something different. All right. So when you go to my website and you download your free copy of my ebook about how you can reverse these seemingly incurable diseases, incurable conditions with quantum energized medicine protocols, you read in that book, you're going to learn something different. We got to think in a different way. We got to think on a quantum level of how to examine the body and to treat the person by finding these hidden, deeply rooted infections and chemicals that have gotten into your brain and your body parts that are causing you the illness that you're suffering from. And we can find those that you may miss in a blood test. When we can find those and help you safely and effectively and rapidly extract those from parts of your body, help your body expel them from the body, whether it's a heavy metal, whether it's a mold toxin, whether it's mold, whether it's a virus, whether it's a pesticide that made you sick, whether it's an antibiotic, whether it's a vaccine that made you sick. We have the technology that can help you find these and help you safely remove them without drugs, without medicine. The formulas are made in our lab. Learn more about that in my book as well as on my website. Now you can become a patient here and you can get better. And before I tell you how, you can look at other videos on my YouTube channel and on my website on the fibromyalgia page, on the fibromyalgia playlist on my website, and neuropathy, brain fog, chronic fatigue. I've got many different videos of many different patients talking about how their rapid heart rate disappeared, how their POTS syndrome condition disappeared, how their nerve pain disappeared, how their migraines disappeared, how their chronic fatigue disappeared, how they're better focused now, how the brain fog left them, how slow learning disabilities disappeared after years of suffering and feeling very low self-esteem, how anxiety left their brain, how depression left them, shortness of breath left them, asthma, skin rashes. We've got lots of different testimonials, lots of different case studies here that I can prove to you that this is not just a 1 in a million, what I've been able to do for Carole and her family, which you can watch another video where I'll show the whole family testimonial and hear about their amazing recovery. And they're just excited to share their story with you. They suffered like you're suffering. So anyway, back to it. You do have the opportunity to find these different infections and toxins that have caused your disease. And I am here to help provide you a great service to help you get better. It's my passion. I love doing it for people and with people, okay? The fortunate thing is you can make an appointment. You can get on the road to reclaiming your brain, reclaiming your body, restoring your optimal health. Unfortunately, insurance companies don't recognize this work. They stay in the box. They're in that box of conventional methods of examining and treating the person that may not have been successful for you. So if it hasn't been successful, if the drugs haven't worked, if the meds haven't worked, if their labs haven't worked, it's time to do something different. It's time to take control of your life. It is time. The time is now, because there may be no tomorrow. You might still be suffering and miss another party, miss another birthday party, not be able to travel to enjoy your anniversary, to go to somebody's graduation from school because you're too ill. Maybe there's stress at home because your spouse doesn't understand why you're in so much pain that you claim you're in pain. I'm not saying you're not. Just doctors sometimes look at people and say it's all in their head because they are not smart enough to look outside the box and they see that there's nothing wrong in the lab that they ran. Blood sugars are normal, hormones look normal. They gave you a pill, they gave you a depression pill, and you're not better. So maybe it's causing trouble at home because your significant other or spouse doesn't understand, because the doctor they trust is telling them that there's nothing wrong with you when you know there is. So it's time to take control of your life. I'm here to help you. I do look forward to helping you. You can call my clinic at 954-370-3100. That's 954-370-3100. You can email my clinic assistant. If you don't call, you can email at clinic@drlonnieherman.com. That's clinic@drlonnieherman.com. You can book your appointment right on my website. It's very simple. You just click the book appointment link and it will take you to a page. It will explain your investment in yourself, the fees that we've created a very affordable system for you to do this and help you achieve rapid recovery. And I'm telling you, you look at my website, look at my videos about lupus, recovery from lupus and MS and incontinence and bladder pain disorders and thyroid disease, Hashimoto's disease. We've got a long list of conditions that we're able to help, very long. And I'm proud of it. So you can call my clinic, my assistant will help you. Email the clinic, my assistant is very happy to help you. Book it right online. You also should, before you even contact the clinic, go on my website to the frequently asked questions page. And on that page, you will see there's a long list of questions that people commonly ask. We've helped people from all across the United States and other countries in Canada, Mexico, from Alaska, which is US, but also from Europe, from United Kingdom and Romania and Thailand and Netherlands and Norway and Australia, Spain. We've had people come from all around, Israel, Thailand, Indonesia. People have come here for this work that I'm offering. I do look forward to helping you. The time is now. Take advantage of this. There's no reason for you or a loved one to suffer another day with pain and brain fog and insomnia and depression. It's time to overcome it. I look forward to helping you. I will see you soon. Let's talk about you now.
Okay.
And thank you again for coming in and doing this with me today, because there are people who are watching this now who need help, who are desperate, like you were, like they were, right? So for you, I'm going to list the symptoms so that we can go over the severity and the improvement, okay? So number one, you had a chronic fatigue problem.
Oh, yes.
You had a sleeping problem. You had dry feet, that was really bad. You had brain fog. You had heart palpitations. You had an overactive thyroid, you had an underactive thyroid, it kept flip-flopping, right? You had numbness in your body, you had pain throughout your body, in addition to severe lower back pain, there was pain everywhere. Everywhere. And you had a sensitivity to smell, a sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound. You had headaches, and you had an overactive bladder.
Yes.
Did I miss
would say
anything?
Migraine, like crushing.
Migraine, like a skull crushing.
Yes, yes.
We had thought at one time you had brain tumors. We
we had an MRI done.
Yeah.
You thought they were brain tumors?
Yeah, because it just felt like
skull crushing.
Yeah, everything that I would describe to people, everybody thought that doesn't sound like a migraine, and I started researching, well, if it's not migraines, what is it? And I started researching tumors and cancer, and so we had an MRI done that we paid out of pocket for, and they didn't.
And they couldn't find anything wrong.
Right.
And they found nothing wrong.
Nothing.
No tumors, thank God.
Yeah.
But they found nothing wrong.
Right.
So you were happy to find nothing wrong, but you're probably like, I wish they would have found something wrong, because why do I have this pain?
Yes, exactly.
And it was literally like somebody put a vice around your skull and was just squeezing your skull.
Yes.
Yeah. And what type of doctors, before you came to me, what type of doctors did you see? Try to get care from?
Yeah, from an ENT doctor, since my children were like 1 and 2 years old, to heart specialists because they thought I was going to have a heart attack in my 20s, because at that time I had the overactive thyroid, and so everything was overactive. And heart specialist, ENT, rheumatoid arthritis, functional medicine, gastroenterologist. I think I lost count of all the doctors. I just was so exhausted just trying to find out what was going on with me. I had one ENT doctor, I think it was the last, it was the last ENT doctor that I saw, that I just couldn't take it anymore, because he was getting upset at telling me that those aren't symptoms of Hashimoto's, like if I was making my symptoms up. And I kept on asking him, well, can you do, vitamin? Maybe I'm vitamin deficient, maybe I'm this. And he said, you need to stop Googling everything. He got real mad at me and started yelling at me and telling me that those symptoms are not Hashimoto's. And I was like, then what do I have if that's not Hashimoto's? He got all upset with me, but that's the last doctor, the ENT doctor, that I decided to go to after that. But I went through functional medicine after that, through ozone and all kinds of different doctors injecting vitamins, having ozone injected into my blood, and just all kinds of stuff. And nothing nothing healed me. I saw maybe a little bit of symptoms diminish, getting a little bit better, but still nothing.
Nothing really?
No.
And you told me there was another diagnosis that was given by
yeah.
some doctor to you and your daughter. They told you they thought you had what?
We're diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Which means pain in the connective
Everywhere.
tissues and the muscles. So
Yeah.
what is that really?
Right.
Like what diagnosis is that? It's just
I know.
like
It's weird.
they just throw that at people. It's crazy. And you were diagnosed with Hashimoto's?
I was diagnosed
That
with
was
Hashimoto's,
diagnosis.
yeah.
But you had the hyper and hypoactive thyroid.
Right.
So was there an endocrinologist who ran that test on you and found it, or was it a general
Yes.
doctor who?
Endocrinologist.
And what did they offer you?
Medication to lower or slow down the Hashimoto's at first, or the overactive thyroid. One was wanting to take out my thyroid. I was like,
I'm not going to take it out.
I don't want to take out my thyroid. And then she's like, oh, I can give you a radiation pill to, destroy your thyroid. And I was like, no, that's okay. I don't want to do
You were
that.
smart enough to think that. Something you
Yes.
told me when you were here Saturday for your husband's appointment, something you said was, if you found me and my work like 5 years ago, what would you have said?
This is crazy, and I would have turned you off. I would have been like totally rejected this, because I realized it's totally different, and it's something that we're taught. I feel like we're taught since childhood how to think about everything, how to think about food, and how to think about medicine, and how to think about doctors, and we're like trained in these things that we don't realize until we're really, really sick, and none of the things that you think are supposed to work are not working. And then you realize, wait a second, they're lying to us. Like, all these are just lies. Like, and so, yeah, I would have not believed it had I found you years ago.
And now you're pretty
and
happy.
now I'm it's a huge blessing. Yes, I'm super happy that
Your
we found
dry,
you.
thank you. Your dry feet.
Oh, yeah.
How much better?
90, maybe 95% better.
And we have done nothing to your feet
Right,
directly.
yeah.
It's not like
That's
there's a new
true.
cream or lotion.
No.
And it's not that you're getting pedicures and scraping the feet. You're not soaking your feet. There's none of that. The dryness just started to disappear by removing the hidden infections and chemicals from her body. And all of a sudden, the body can just regenerate itself, revitalize itself, like for her. You had intense back pain.
Oh, yeah.
And you had gone to the chiropractor before, and there was no relief.
No.
Maybe for a day, but it would come right back, right? And so with your back pain, on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 is the worst low back pain you could ever imagine, how would you rate it before?
Yeah, like a 10. He wasn't even able to touch me in my lower back area with his hand. Not even place his hand softly on me without me.
It was hurting so much.
Oh, yeah.
And so one day, right after you took your first highly energized specified liquid drop that we gave you in that protocol, you took the first one. The very next day, you were what? Emptying the dishwasher or something?
Well, yeah, I don't know if it was the very next day, but it was like soon after. I just was doing my dishes, taking the dishes out of the dishwasher, and it just dawned on me that I was not in excruciating pain like I normally was. And I was like, what happened? And I went and I looked at the paperwork, and I realized, wow, that's why I had all that back pain. Like, I couldn't believe it, and it was just gone.
The kidneys were loaded with the chemicals from 2 epidurals that you had. The epidurals actually were, the body was trying to process it and remove it from the kidney, but the kidney was too overworked already and it couldn't do it. I'll talk more in another video. So that back pain is now
Completely gone.
completely gone. How many years did you live with that back pain?
Over 10 years for sure.
Did we do any physical therapy or any direct treatments or any
No.
needles or any injections or any surgery? Nothing else.
Nothing.
Just remove the
It's
poison that was stuck in those kidneys and it's gone.
Yes.
It's not too good to be true. Your body pain that they called fibromyalgia, on a 0 to 10 scale, 10 is the worst pain. How would you rate what it was before you came to me?
Probably like a 7 or an 8 constantly.
Constant.
But sometimes it was so bad that it would wake me up at night just from dead sleep because I was in so much pain.
Did it start to drive you almost insane, the pain?
I thought I was gonna die sometimes. Like, I really was preparing my family and just talking about it, and everybody would get all sad, but I really thought there's no way my body can hold up under so much pain.
And that pain now?
Oh, it's like maybe a 1 or 2.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And some
Bad
days,
dream, gone.
do you even
Yeah, it's
have the
just
pain
gone.
on some days? It's gone.
No, yeah, sometimes I don't have pain.
How many weeks has it been that all this pain in the back and the whole body is gone?
Wow, just a long time. It's been probably 2 months, maybe 2.5.
Zero pain. Oh, just about.
Uh-huh,
All
pretty
right.
much.
Massive improvement.
Yes.
You had brain fog. How bad was that? 0 to 10? 10 is the worst. Can't think, can't remember, hard to process information.
I would usually have a 10. Sometimes I'd have relief, maybe a 9 or 8. But
And now?
yeah, now it's non-existent. I don't have brain fog.
How many months has it been?
Yeah, probably 2 months.
It's not just felt good one day and then it came back the next. You're feeling good and it has remained.
Yes.
It's sustained improvement.
Yes.
Because we remove the causes of the problem. It's not just take a vitamin to cover up, take a supplement to
Right.
cover up, take a pill to cover up, and then you run out of the supplement or run out of the medication or and then it comes back. It's gone.
Yeah.
You had heart palpitations.
Yeah.
Were those every day?
No, I don't even know what would flare it up, but no, it was every once in a while.
Have you had them
Nope.
recently? They're
Not
gone.
at all. Yeah.
You had numbness where in your body?
My arms and legs, when I would wake up, would just be numb. Sometimes if I would just sit for a little too long, or just sit really, because I don't even know what too long is anymore. But if I would just sit maybe 20, 30 minutes, my legs would go numb, and that doesn't happen anymore.
Totally gone then.
I'm able to sit for hours. Sometimes we drove from San Antonio.
Drove
here.
from Texas to come
Yeah.
to my clinic in Florida. Moving to Florida.
Yeah.
So the numbness didn't come. Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Numbness there, numbness gone. And it's been how long now? No more numbness?
Months. Yeah.
Months. Overactive bladder. How often did you feel you had to go to the bathroom?
Every day.
Every day. Well, every
Constantly.
day, of course, but constant, like
Yes, at least several times an hour.
several times an hour.
But at nighttime, it was way worse.
How many times did you wake up at night to go to the bathroom?
I lost count. Usually about 5 or 6.
So you'd go several times every hour and 5 to 6 at night.
Yes.
And now, do you wake up at night to go to the bathroom?
Very rarely. It's usually like maybe once in the morning, like early morning.
But that's it. But you're sleeping at night.
Oh yeah, all
And
night.
what about during the daytime? Do you have to go several times an hour?
No.
Do you have to go every hour?
No.
Maybe once every few hours.
Maybe. Yeah.
So that's it. So the overactive bladder condition is gone.
Yes.
Your sleep was interrupted because of pain. Your sleep was interrupted because of the overactive bladder. You're sleeping well now.
Yep.
And now when you get up, because you also had the problem like your daughter, where you felt as though when you got up in the morning, you still needed rest.
Yeah,
you
I felt like an 18-wheeler hit me and I couldn't get up out of bed.
felt like you never had rest, even
Yes.
though you were stuck. How is it now? What time are you getting up in the morning?
Maybe 5 or 6.
5 or 6 in the morning. Do you feel like you're rested?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm able to do things. I'm able to function.
This smile, this laugh, this giggle is of a woman who is no longer in pain,
Yeah.
whose family is no longer in pain. Because even if you were better, but she was still suffering and he was suffering, you'd be
Oh yes.
you'd be happy that you feel better, but you'd feel like, why are they still suffering? What's going on? You wouldn't
Yeah.
be this joyful coming in here and
Right.
doing this video now. Because it's been across the board
Yes.
of everybody here.
Yes.
Yeah.
As soon as we heard about, all these years, my wife had learned so many different things, going to these different doctors and researching and finding out answers. And there was related science to what you were saying that brought it together, that made us think this is really possible. Whereas if she hadn't gone through all that before, in that path, in that order, we wouldn't have known the related sciences and wouldn't have even considered you. And so when we saw that this could have a chance, I was in the middle of feeling like I was telling my wife, my children, my family all the time, any day now, any week to week, I never know when they're going to let me go now, because I can no longer perform on my job where I was, I would say, masterful in it. And every other position I've been in, I've excelled my colleagues through hard work and learning and applying myself, and now I wasn't able to apply myself, and I knew our last bit of money was going to be any day now. And when we found you out, it was just a little over, it was just a little under what we had left, and I decided to go for it because it was making sense. We looked into everything, we questioned everything. I think we watched my wife especially watched all your videos to try to look into this, because she had to, tell us about it. And I just think that, going forward with the decision, it seemed like the only thing we could do, the last thing. And, it should be, like we were saying yesterday, it should be the first thing, that someone thinks about. But just because the way we think in our society, the way that we think about modern medicine and things, we wouldn't really venture upon that path going from the get-go, right? So I think you even said it, most people find you as a last resort, when I feel like you should be the first resort. We want to take everybody to you. We want to save up our money and take our friends to you, because they're like, oh, it's so much money, this and that. We're like, we'll forward you the money and we'll pay for it, and if it works out, you pay us back or something.
It's going to revitalize our life.
Yeah, we have friends we care about. We have just so many people that we know that are sick, and we want to be able to convince them. We want to be able to take them and see what can be done.
Yeah, well, it can be done.
From a person that suffered as so long, I feel like suffering for, I think it's been like 17 years. No.
This is the 17th year.
Yeah, at least 17 years. No, because even as a teenager, I had back pain and kind of rushing down my legs, but I don't know what that was. But anyways, just being a person that has suffered for so long and seen so many doctors, so many natural doctors, so many even top doctors, like heart specialist was the top of the whole hospital. I would say this is not too good to be true. This is a God-sent blessing to our to our earth. That is just the knowledge that Dr. Herman has is amazing, and I really do believe that the Lord has given him this to help us. Modern medicine, in my opinion, what they call modern medicine is not modern medicine, and it is hurting a lot of people, and it's hurt us. And Dr. Herman is the one that is actually helping us and getting rid of even all these medicines that were in our body and toxins that were in our body for so many years from doctors and from injections. And now, I would just say you would do yourself and your family and your life and your future the best if you come here and just come and try Dr. Herman and follow what he says and do what he says. And it is very easy. And to be honest, I have spent more money and way more money all these years, and all I did was suffer for so many years, and so have our family. We've spent way more. And I wish I would have found him years ago, but the Lord,
now was the right time.
Yes,
that was the right time.
Knows. Yeah.
It gets better all the time with this, right? So,
yes.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on camera today. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And they appreciate it.